This is BettySoo coming from the smoke-free music city of Austin, Texas. And I'd like to thank the American Non-Smokers' Rights Foundation for sponsoring this video house concert. Austin, we are so grateful, has been a smoke-free city now for 15 years, which seems amazing. I can't believe it's been 15 years already. It doesn't seem quite that long ago that we were having these conversations about whether or not the music industry would survive that. But just like people go to stores or office buildings to go to work, for musicians, our place of work is clubs, casinos, music venues, bars, restaurants, and places that used to have a lot of smoke. And in some cities, they still do. So we really appreciate being able to go to a place and not have to risk all of those health hazards that are associated with secondhand or third-hand smoke. Some musicians already suffer from respiratory illness or are compromised in some other way. And so to not add to their risks of real health consequences is an amazing thing.
It's the brother who never writes anymore, the uncle you never heard mentioned before, the man you didn't know who left when you were born, a mom will lose her child behind at the store. Life don't work out like the plans you drawn. Had yourself some dreams, now the wishing well's gone. Family can't make things work on the farm. Big city living can't keep you warm. 100 different ways of being alone. What you thought was true love left you wanting more. A girl sits alone on her living room floor. Boy turns away before he knocks on her door. And the neighbors don't ask what he's there for. Will you leave this town? But there's nowhere to run. Things you used to love don't bring no fun. Sick of wishing every night you had someone, called everyone you know, but nobody's home. 100 different ways of being Well, a new man in town's got your girl on his arm. That careless thing you said caused so much harm. Nothing's the same as where you come from. Still, that beat you're walking to ain't such a different drum. Well, you tried to be a new voice, your song ain't your own. Tried to make a mark, but you're still unknown. Tried to take a chance, now that bird has flown. Left nothing here for you but rag and bone and 100 different ways of being alone. Ooh.
Performing in a smoke-filled venue, a place where people are smoking or have been smoking, even if they stopped smoking while you're playing, all of that stuff just irritates our vocal cords. It irritates our eyes, our nose, even our ears. And as we breathe in, it's coating our mouths and everything. It makes it really difficult to sing. It makes it difficult to take the deep breaths and to expel that much air quickly, which is what we do when we're singing. And not only that, but it kills 1 million people a year. Secondhand smoke kills 1 million people worldwide each year. And if we can reduce that, if we can make it so that fewer people are subjected to secondhand smoke who don't choose that, then that can make a big difference. In Austin, we're so lucky because we've been smoke-free for 15 years in our venues. But when we go and tour in other venues around the country, we're reminded that not every city is a smoke-free city. And it's pretty rough when you go into a venue and you've got to play with all of that smoke in the air. And for us, that's one night, and even that can put us at risk, and it can create problems for the shows down the line, the shows that we have after that, the next night and the night after that. But for the bartenders, for the wait staff, for the crew, the bouncers, everybody else, security, managers, anybody who's working in those venues who are subjected to that smoke day in and day out, that's something in their work environment that they shouldn't really have to put up with, and they shouldn't really have to be subjected to those health risks. It's not a necessary risk by any means. I know a lot of people don't think about bars, clubs, and entertainment venues as workplaces, but that's our office.
I spent my savings on a beat-up old guitar. I spent my thoughts in bottles of wine. I spent that summer writing your name next to mine. And I spent whole nights emptying out boxes. And I spent whole days lying in bed. And I spent whole months playing our song after you left. Isn't it amazing what we'll do in the name of love? Isn't it amazing what we'll give without ever having any possession of? Isn't it amazing how we'll let ourselves get torn apart? Amazing, we still find sweet the sound of love. You sang me calm when I was shaking, and you sang my heart out of my chest, and you sang my breath to me, using words you never meant. And I wished you back despite your late night rage. And I wished you back even with my fear. I wished you back because alone I'd disappear. possession of. Isn't it amazing how we'll let ourselves get torn apart? Amazing, we still find it sweet, the sound of love. Didn't know how far, didn't know how far away, didn't know how far away you'd take me, but now I see. Isn't it amazing what we'll do in the name of love? Isn't it amazing what we'll give without ever having any possession of? Isn't it amazing how we'll let ourselves get torn apart? Amazing, we still find sweet the sound of love.
When I think back to when Austin was first proposing becoming a smoke-free city, I remember that I didn't really know where I stood on it. I mean, as a fan who liked to go to shows and as a musician who played them, of course there was a part of me that thought, duh, it's a no-brainer. Venues should definitely be smoke-free. It'll be a much safer place for everybody and a better environment, a place that would be safe for a lot of people who were avoiding going out to be able to go out. But I was really afraid that it was going to close down some venues. I thought it was going to close some businesses. I was afraid that there were some places that were so associated with having a smoke-friendly culture that what if their business suffered? What if people stopped going there? And it turns out that those fears were pretty unfounded. You know, smokers, for the most part, have been happy to go outside and take their smoke outside. Some venues created a smoking patio for them, and like the Saxon Pub, you know. And I will say that there were several venues in the past that a bunch of us who frequented them, we'd take off our jackets outside or, you know, some favorite piece of clothing, and they'd all be sitting on the rails outside, or we'd throw them in our car because there were pieces of clothing we were afraid to bring inside because we'd never get them clean again. And if you've never heard of third-hand smoke is actually all of the chemical particles that cling to your clothes, to your guitar, your microphone, your amp. For us, it's all those things. For you, it might just be your favorite denim jacket. And those things still present a health hazard because you're still breathing them in. Every time you smell them, all those particles are getting into your lungs. So we were all walking around with all of that third-hand smoke too, besides being subjected to it secondhand. And there were jackets I would never wear into a bunch of venues because I felt like I could never get them clean again. So I'm so grateful, and congratulations, Austin, for hitting 15 years this year, being a smoke-free city. It has made such an easier, healthier, it's made performing in Austin venues easier and healthier for all of us, and we really appreciate being able to go to work and not face smoke in our office.
You lifted my chin and brushed the hair from my face, and your hand felt warm when it slipped around my waist. I've never been good at learning my place, but all my thoughts escaped when you whispered my name. When you whisper my name, when you breathe me in, when you hold me close, all the trouble I've seen disappears into the night. the tighter I hold on to you, the more everything will become right. When you whisper my name, stars seem to shine brighter when you're near. You see when I'm sad before I shed a tear. Never felt so at home in my skin till you got here. And when I feel you speak, you erase my fear. When you whisper my name, when you breathe me in, when you hold me close, all the trouble I've seen disappears into the night. And I know the tighter I hold on to you, the more everything will become right. When you whisper my name, I thought I knew what love was long before I met you. I lived plenty of years with a heart broken into. When you whisper my name, when you breathe me in, when you hold me close, all the trouble I've seen disappears into the night. And I know the tighter I hold on to you, the more everything will become right. When you whisper my name,
Here's a pretty disconcerting statistic for you. For every half hour a musician plays in a smoke-filled venue, so for every half hour that I spend, that's 5 or 6 songs that I play on stage, I've taken in the equivalent of an entire cigarette. So if I'm playing for 2 hours at a gig, that means that it's like I've smoked 4 cigarettes, even though I haven't even touched one. And musicians who are exposed to secondhand or third-hand smoke are actually at a much higher risk of cancer and heart disease than other workers. But we are also at greater risk of developing things like eye, ear, nose, and throat problems as a result. In Austin, we are lucky to have some great safety net resources for musicians when it comes to healthcare. But a lot of musicians in other cities don't have that. And of course, if you're a traveling or touring musician, then your home is kind of everywhere, which means that musicians playing in any given city can be from anywhere. So having a smoke-free city is so important for musicians in order to guard our safety, to guard our health.
when the sun still beating down September, you touch your toes to that pavement in the water sits still as that creek down by the way. But that dry bed, it ain't seen no fresh water. It spent the last few months trying out without the rain. I never knew no dirt didn't come off in the kitchen, never knew no stain like the one I'm hiding now, never knew no man like the one I've been missing, never knew no love could break love's out. Well, I can't go back to the water's edge. I can't go back to his arms. Can't go deep beneath that glass surface. Can't dry off in that summer sun. I never knew no dirt didn't come off in the kitchen, never knew no stain, never knew no man like the one I've been missing. I never knew no dirt didn't come off in the kitchen, baby. And I never knew no stain. I never knew no man like the one I've been missing. Never knew no love could break love's vow.
Thanks again to the American Non-Smokers' Rights Foundation for sponsoring this video house concert. And thanks everybody for helping keep Austin a smoke-free music city now for 15 years.